and welcome back to another edition of Ignite News. I'm Christina Eike.
And I'm Loredana Del Bello. Local Burlington businesses have established a relationship with Mohawk College.
Alex Smythe has the story.
Business owners and city officials from Burlington came to Mohawk College this week as part of Ingenuity at Work. Burlington Mayor Rick Goldring was on hand to promote a partnership between the college and local businesses.
So the objective of today is to create awareness for what Mohawk has to offer and to start to make small business aware of the great resources that are available here. And Mohawk works with several companies in Burlington, doing both applied research and developing talent.
Well, it's very important that the City of Burlington, our Economic Development Corporation, has a great relationship with Mohawk because Mohawk is doing a lot of leading edge work that can help manufacturing companies in Burlington. So I'm here to promote that relationship.
And Mayor Goldring has liked what he has seen from the college.
So far, so good. I'm very impressed, certainly impressed with the work that's done in the energy lab area, as well as the 3D printing. Obviously, that's very interesting, and I'm really impressed that Mohawk is absolutely at the leading edge.
Frank McCown, the executive director of Burlington Economic Development, saw this event as a great opportunity for everyone involved.
There's some really interesting and wonderful things happening, and the more that we can integrate what universities and colleges are doing with our business community to take advantage of those things, the better we'll all be and the more competitive we'll all be.
We really think it's important that business and universities and colleges, the institutions, have a much closer relationship for them to be competitive. We have to compete with everybody in the world. In Canada, we have a small domestic market, so it's critical that we develop the skills so that we can compete at a global level. And so we're really trying to connect that so that there's open doors between business and institutions. And that's really this is the beginning of that objective. I see Mohawk as just being that critical component. The future is the students that are here, not the folks that are standing around saying they don't have answers for the solutions.
A partnership with the City of Burlington and local businesses may lead to new and exciting opportunities for the students in Mohawk. For Mohawk College Journalism, I'm Alex Smythe.
Mohawk visited its very first Pursapalooza this weekend, with all proceeds going to Phoenix Place.
Phoenix Place is a local shelter in downtown Hamilton, with all proceeds going to domestic violence.
Ben Diamond has the story.
No one's ever needed a reason to buy a purse, but for these women, it was more than just pleasure. Bay City Music Hall was the venue for the first annual Pursapalooza, a charity event started by Phoenix Place, a local-based shelter for women affected by domestic abuse.
We were looking for a new fundraising idea. When you're a charity, you're always looking for a new idea that's going to get people excited. And we had a committee come forward and said, we have some ideas, and Pursapalooza was born. And we're a women's organization. It's such a good fit.
Many of the purses auctioned off were donated by famous women of Ontario, including Premier Kathleen Wynne, former CHCH host Connie Smith, NDP leader Andrea Horvath, and local councillor Judy Partridge. For many of the women, the event was also a chance to celebrate what the shelter has done for them.
4.5 years ago, I fled an abusive relationship. At the time, he robbed me of everything, all my money, my spirit, my identity. I'm a social worker, and it can happen to us too, right? And I had just had a stroke due to the stress of the relationship I was in. And she said, "Are you okay?" And at the time, he had left me penniless. We were in a basement apartment with my daughter, and I said, "No, I'm physically okay, but mentally I'm not." And she said, "There's this place called Phoenix Place." I had no idea. I'm from Hamilton, I had no idea about it. And she said, "I'm going to give you the number, give them a call tomorrow. It's second stage housing. It's women leaving abuse. You know, think about it." I never thought up until that moment that I was abused. I just thought I was in a bad situation.
Though the total donations are still being tallied, it's safe to say that this was a night for the ages. Reporting for Mohawk Journalism, I'm Ben Diamond.
Did you know that Mohawk College has one of the best digital printing centers?
Did you know that they just named it after Hugh Cameron?
I do now. Cristiano Machado has the story.
Mohawk's Digital Print Learning Center was named in honor of Hugh Cameron. This morning, we're proud to acknowledge this individual's significant contributions and his facilitation of donated equipment, scholarships, and bursaries for Mohawk students totaling $750,000. For having given and done so much to Mohawk over many years, we are honored to dedicate our Digital Print Learning Center in his name. So please join me in thanking Mr. Hugh Cameron.
This center makes Mohawk the leading institution for design production. The training we provide as a result of Hugh's donations has had a profound impact on every student that comes through this center. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very proud to introduce to you my very good friend, Mr. Hugh Cameron.
I thank Mohawk for being so generous with the naming of the college, and pledge to you that if I can do whatever I can do in the future, I will do, because I'm a big fan of Mohawk. And thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
No other college in Canada has equipment and technology equal to what the graphic design students use in the Hugh Cameron Digital Print Learning Center. Reporting for Mohawk Journalism, I'm Christiana Machado.
The engineering department at Mohawk College took a rare opportunity to test a Siemens medical CT scanner. To test the capabilities of the scanner, the department decided to scan an ancient Japanese vase in an attempt to replicate the details and nuances of the pottery. The vase's owner, Jim Koyanagi, says he discovered the origins of the vase through a friend who was an expert in ancient ceramics.
And this is where I found out about this Jomon pottery, which goes back to about 1000 BC and into a 1000, 2000 AD. And these were strictly burial pieces, which the family, if a warlord, if he died, they would bury this, for the long journey, and they would fill the container with food, other things, and they would bury that. And I've had this for about 30, 40 years. And when I brought it back to Canada, I found out the Royal Ontario Museum has one similar. There's about 3 in Canada, and I think this is just as good as anyone.
Reed Flock, a professor at Mohawk College, said that the college offered many different services for the project, from the ability to scan, 3D print, as well as replicate the fine details of the vase.
Jim's initial interest in working with this piece was to work with conservation efforts. So I knew immediately that when he put it into my hands that there was something I had to investigate as far as making some approaches that would be hands-off. And the first thing that I thought of was the rapid prototyping department, the AMRC department at Mohawk College. To my mind, it's second to none in Canada. So I started seeing this project in tri-area. There were 3 separate things. One was conservation efforts. So we're able to 3D print the piece in its entirety and make a prosthesis. The second was for study collections. Now we have a piece that you otherwise would see in a handful of galleries across the world outside of the glass. You can hold this piece and examine it. You can appreciate the tactile quality. You can appreciate the culture and the history firsthand. The third is for my own selfish realm, and that is for ceramics and the artistic practices. And from there, it just it abounds as far as energy levels and where it can go from here.
As a result of the successful scanning of the vase, there will be multiple possibilities for the technology and processes used in this experiment.
From a test standpoint, VAWS became a very good demonstration project that we can now roll out into some live medical applications. So from VAWS, we can now move to bone reconstruction. We can move to surgical implant areas, utilizing the same skills that we had learned, taking medical data, turning it into engineering information, producing a physical object from there.
And while the vase is thousands of years old, it is still able to help develop the technology of the future. For Mohawk College Journalism, I'm Alex Smythe.
Next up, a profile on a community counselor of Neighbor to Neighbor. Han Vo has the story.
I've been a longtime supporter of agencies that work with the poor in Hamilton, refugees, immigrants, and a variety of street agencies like Salvation Army and those kinds of things. So I've been a long-time supporter, and Neighbor to Neighbor is one of the agencies that I have supported while I worked. Community counseling, which is what I have been doing for over 10 years here, is basically the entrance gateway for people coming to Neighbor to access the services here. Every new individual is interviewed, files are set up, and in the process of talking to them, we try to establish what areas might we be able to support them by either our own services or services that we are aware of in the community. And we kind of trying to help them identify at least one or two steps that they might be able to take that will improve their lot. And so that's really the goal of community counselors here. The experience that I gain, I think working here keeps me really grounded, because I talk to hundreds of people over time, and I'm always amazed at how well they are dealing with really troubling situations. And so it keeps me reminding me that I have so much, and that I want to be able to be in a position to just be thankful for that. So they are constantly reminding me of that. And every once in a while, there's a ray of hope where you get some feedback that someone has actually worked themselves out of the issues that they are facing. And so that's always a rewarding situation. My experience with younger people, and I've worked with many of them, is that they have so much and often don't realize how much they have until they encounter individuals here that are trying to make a go of it from third world countries, from war-torn countries, and don't have anywhere near the benefits that we just take for granted. And so many of the young people have their eyes opened when they come here, because they're actually seeing for the first time there's a whole other picture, that for the matter of one person being sick in their family or someone losing a job, they could be the next person knocking on the door to access the services here. And that realization, I think, is an eye-opener for many of the young people that do come here.
Next, we have a heartwarming story about two brothers and their love for hockey. Jimmy Goldenberg and Lorraine Young have the story.
My name's Cole Urich. I play for the Hamilton Sledgehammers, and I've been playing for maybe 10 years. I've lost track.
My name's Cooper Urich. I'm 13 years old, and I play sledge hockey with my brother Cole.
I got involved through a disabled baseball thing set up on in the mountain in Hamilton. Played that for a few years, and one of the mothers suggested I try sledge hockey, so why not?
After a few years of watching my brother play it, I thought it'd be cool, so I tried it out, then I took a break, then I came back, and then I've been playing since then.
I have my hands taped because I don't really have good grip strength. The part that's hard is not being able to wipe your nose. Snot does not taste good.
At the beginning, it's going to be really hard to keeping your balance to, like, when you're skating, you're going to tip over a lot, but eventually you'll get good enough that it becomes a lot easier.
Just sort of go with the flow and hope I don't get run over.
Well, we kind of like read each other's thoughts. He's a very good passer and I'm a very good shooter, so we go together really well.
We're already better than last year, which we did not win at all, so this is awesome.
Mohawk men's volleyball had a major win last week against Humber College. John Rich has the story.
The Mountaineers battled fatigue to defeat the Humber Hawks 3-0. With the win, the team remains undefeated on the season.
6-0, man. 6-0. It feels really good. 3 left, but I mean, this week was really tough for us because we had 3 games in 7 or 8 days, right? So it's a lot of volleyball. But 3-0 tonight, you can't complain, right? You can't fault the guys on anything. They put it all out on the floor, so that's all we can ask of them.
The team got off to a slow start in the second set, falling behind by 8 points. They took the lead 22-21 before winning the set 30-28.
Yeah, it got a little chippy there, a little bit down at the start, but as our coach always says, just find a way to win. Doesn't matter how we do it, how sloppy, how ugly it is. Just find your way to win and just keep picking each other up till the end of the set.
Captain Trevor McLaughlin says the win will put the rest of the league on notice.
It was a great team win, especially coming back from that second set. We got off to a really rough start. But, I thought it was a great win. They're a good team, and being in 3 is a statement for the rest of the league.
Coach Matthew Schnarr is proud of his team's mental and physical toughness.
And the thing is information. So we're giving information about different teams every other day, trying to focus in on who's in front of us, and that gets tough. That's a lot of thinking to do. And, on top of studies, they're always trying to be, on top of their stuff. So I have to give it to them. I'll take any team I'll take this team over any team right now based on just the way they work. They never complain. They take my crap. I hope they understand I was just trying to get their backs up so that they could push through. And that's a very physical Humber team who's going to get better. And so are we. And so next time we play, we're just going to have to get ready for another battle.
The team's next game is Friday against the Fanshawe Falcons. The game starts at 8 p.m. in the David Braley Athletic and Recreation Center. Reporting for Mohawk College Journalism, I'm John Rich.
Mohawk women's basketball head coach Kevin Duffy knew his team was in for a stern test Friday night. In addition to dealing with an injury-shortened bench, the Mountaineers were facing highly ranked Humber College. Mohawk struggled early from the field, missing open shots from the perimeter and failing to convert down in the paint. Their ice-cold shooting coupled with sloppy play led to an 8-point deficit after 1 quarter. The Mountaineers picked up the defensive pressure in the second. Sparked by 7 steals, Mohawk cut the deficit to 20-16 with just over 6 minutes left in the half. This game was not for the weak at heart. Points were hard to come by and both teams weren't shy about throwing their weight around. The tension-filled half finished with Humber leading 28-20. The Hawks found their shooting touch in the third, led by the hot hand of Natalie Hagopian and sharp passes of point guard Mary Asir. Humber pushed their lead out to 15 after 3. But in the fourth period, the Mountaineers flexed their defensive muscles, holding Humber scoreless for the first 6 minutes as they slowly chiseled away at the margin. A breakaway layup by Sam Pokranik drew the team within 5 with 2:35. But that was as close as Mohawk would get. The last 2 minutes featured more contact than points, and Humber drew away 52-43 for the win. Despite the loss, Duffy was impressed with his team's effort and defensive play.
You can't worry when you get down. You just have to go possession by possession and then hope that, you can get a few baskets, keep the pressure on them. As the score gets closer, certainly, for the other team, the ball gets a little tighter in their hands. And we have that type of resilient team that, just isn't going to quit. We want to win every game, of course, but we're not going to panic. We'll come back and we'll be ready for next Saturday against Lambton. And, as I said, we're just trying to get better every game. And if we improve our focus and with some injuries, people healing, I think we'll be ready for the second half.
Third-year guard Carissa Brown was encouraged by the game and felt that the team's resilient performance would serve as a confidence builder for the rest of the season.
Yeah, we were definitely the underdog in this situation. Nobody expected us to win, and Humber came in thinking that they were this was gonna be an easy game for them. But I think we showed them that we're nothing to joke around with. We can compete with them. When you get in their head, and that's exactly what we did. Being physical, they're mentally weak. So when we're physical with them, they shut down, and that's when they started smack talking, and that's when they started attacking each other on the court. And that's what we want because we're winning. We're winning.
The loss dropped the Mountaineers' record to 2 wins and 2 losses. The rematch against the Hawks is scheduled for January 13th at Humber. Reporting for Mohawk College Journalism, I'm Jimmy Goldenberg.
Now I'm here with John Rich. So what's going on with Mohawk varsity sports right now?
Well, Chrissy, I've got to tell you, First of all, the Mohawk men's volleyball are off to an insanely hot start. They're 6-0 on the season, undefeated, and they are ranked number 1 in the province so far. The women's volleyball, not so much. They're falling behind a little bit. They have a record of 2-4, and unfortunately, they are not ranked at all in the province just yet. And on the basketball side, the men's basketball, again, undefeated, 4-0 on the season, and they are ranked number 2 in the province. So far, Mohawk, you're off to a great start with your sports.
I'm now joined by John Tonin, who recently had dinner with a Ugandan doctor. Why don't you tell us more about that?
That's right, Lord Donna. I recently had dinner with Dr. Anthony Bati, a pediatric nephrologist from Uganda. He works at Malago Hospital. He's in Hamilton with the IOP program, which is run by St. Joseph's Healthcare System. While they're here, they learn about the latest in Canadian medicine, but they also learn about Canadian culture since they're here for a year. So we took Dr. Bati out for his first burger and poutine.
And I don't understand the science of a burger. So what's the topping, when is bread, and what's in the middle?
That's up for interpretation.
Yeah,
Bun's gonna go on top though. And then usually like your patty, and then like the toppings on top of the patty.
Okay. This side is where we are looking for the patty, and then.
Okay, your patties are right here. Yeah, they have a chicken patty here.
Oh, it's already made. Okay.
Or you can get ground turkey.
Chicken.
Chicken.
Chicken would work.
The waitress arrives. Time to get that first Canadian meal cooking.
Yeah. And this guy's getting a poutine too. Because he's never had one before.
You have to have one. I should.
Okay.
And what kind of burger would you like? He still remembers what I ordered.
Oh, you need help there?
Yeah. So
okay, you're getting. He's getting the chicken breast.
Yeah. Okay.
With just lettuce, onions.
Pickles, tomato?
He's never tried pickles. We put the pickles on the side.
Yeah, lettuce, onion, tomato, pickles on the side. Okay.
And then like a ranch.
Yeah.
And a ranch.
Like ranch sauce. And then bacon.
And bacon?
Yeah.
Good, thank you.
Anything else you need on
No.
Nope.
First up, the Canadian piece de resistance, poutine.
You gotta selfie that for your kids back home.
Oh, I
Look
should.
what I'm trying.
Hey.
Before the first bite, gotta get a picture for his family back home.
Can you help me take a photo with me inside? They don't say I photoshopped or got it from Google.
Ready?
Yep.
Smile there. Hey man, that's a good pick.
Yeah.
Really good.
Thank you.
Taste the plate picture. Worthy.
Very good.
First up, the Canadian pièce de résistance, poutine.
Poutine?
Yeah. You like it?
It is good.
They're gonna need to bring a doctor over from Uganda that deals with like the arteries and stuff. Like the joke is like it's artery clogging.
That's If you're in Canada, they will correct the arteries.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry. They'll unclog them.
Next up, Dr. Anthony Bati tries a pickle.
Feels sweet.
They're good, eh?
Mm-hmm. Feels sweet.
Essentially, a pickle's just like a little cucumber. A little baby cucumber. And they just stick them in vinegar.
Oh, and I didn't get it. I had it sweet. I didn't know it was cucumber. I knew cucumber, but not a pickle. So
Was this the way to like?
It's time for the burger, which means one more time to get a selfie.
The photo is better taken when I'm eating it, when I'm holding it. Sorry. So wait a minute. So I just pour it
Dump it on there, yeah. No need to be polite. There it is.
That's it?
Yeah, that's good.
Like
All right.
that. Yeah.
Take a bite now. I'll get one of that. Too. Oh yeah. You like it?
It is. It's nice.
Nice, huh?
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Take another bite.
Oh, another bite?
Yeah, do it.
The meal was finished and our bellies full. Batty's first Canadian meal was a success.
Now we're going to take a look at the Hamilton Conservatory for the Arts and what they have to offer.
And always I believe that the music and dance and visual arts have lots in common with each other. And they are very important tools for anyone who would like to be artist. And to be not one-sided, to just say I'm a musician, I shouldn't be interested in the visual arts because that's not my genre. Because the building kind of gives me that inspiration, because this building was built for the arts. The arts are here in those walls, very deeply embedded. So I decided from very beginning until now, there's no one room for one purpose.
So the building was built sort of for music. It was built as a music conservatory in 1905, but the actual conservatory itself goes back a little bit earlier than that. And it really was, I think, when it was built, at that time they had dance lessons, there was music lessons, there were art lessons. And so it was really a cultural hub in the community. It was a place where people could go and learn about art and also to experience art. There's always been concerts here in our second floor recital hall. And we often have people, older people come in who just want to visit the building, who, you know, for them it holds such a special place.
There used to be 7 muses in a back in a mythology, Greek mythology, when they are right up there in the front, and it's 7 other music, dance, drama, visual arts, and architecture, and the science, and literature. I think they have lots to do with the arts, and regardless which way you look, and in our lives particularly. So they separate them. Now I decided to put them together. So we have art gallery here when the students come, and the students don't have to come specially dressed up to go to the gallery. They are every day here. When they come for the dance class, the parents have nothing to do. They can use that and all other stuff. So musicians talk to the visual artists, the drama people talk to the musicians or dancers or whatever. So it becomes that artistic environment, which is our tagline of the conservatory, is creating an environment.
You know, Vitek's big thing when he purchased the building in 97, because it had been many other things sort of in between that time, from when the, you know, the original conservatory closed in 80-81 to when he purchased it in 97, it had completely lost touch with that sense of arts in the community and being sort of an artistic center of the community. So he wanted to bring that back in a very contemporary way, but still sort of respecting the tradition of the arts from whence it came.
Because everything was consumed by my passion, by my vision, and that journey which I went, I just didn't have time for think even about anything, because I had nothing. Everything what you see here in the conservatory is from my old vacations. I didn't go to vacation. I will save some money to buy the paint. I've learned how to paint. I've learned how to do carpentry. I've learned everything. You know, so it made me so much richer than just being a dancer all my life. Looking now through the perspective of my years, I think I've made it a tremendously beneficial decision for me, and not just for me, but for you know, the things I provided for the people and what they receive.
That's it for this week's edition of Ignite News. I'm Loredana Del Bello.
And I'm Christina Ike. Be sure to tune in next week.